A meal plan, a macronutrient target plan, or a calorie target, what is best? This video is going to run you through the pros and the cons, in my opinion, of each one. There is no two ways about it. If you want to control and manipulate your body composition to improve it, you have to be nailed on with your nutrition. That is much easier said than done though. I like to think of nutrition as a little bit of building a wall. The first layer for the vast majority of people who enter CBS is a meal plan, and here's a whole host of reasons why. A meal plan gives you rigid flexibility, meaning that you know what's in each meal, but then meals can change as time goes on. It is all really controlled, and you're going to know exactly what's in each meal from a calories and a macronutrient standpoint. You don't need to study your meal plan, but glancing at it a couple of times a week will teach you a couple of things. You don't need to know how many calories or macros a certain quantity of each ingredient is going to teach you, but you will pick them up over time, and this is something that you will use for the rest of your life. There is no room for error or guesswork. You know exactly what you can have and exactly what you can't have. This also opens the door for discipline. When you can instill a little bit of discipline into what you're doing, this will fast track your result. There is no decision fatigue. You never have to wonder about where the next meal is coming from, what's it gonna be, how am I gonna track it, how am I gonna cook it. You know that, okay, next up, beef stir fry. After that, tuna pasta. It's easily made and easily tracked. And just to touch on that easily tracked whole scenario, you can literally build out the meal on MyFitnessPal. So rather than looking up every ingredient and editing each quantity of ingredient, you can make that meal ready-made, click onto the app, click the meal, press save, and it's there, and it's done in 4 or 5 clicks, as opposed to spending 5-10 minutes per meal trying to track. So the meal plan is on the bottom of the wall. The next brick on that wall is a macronutrient plan. And essentially what that is a coach will give you a plan saying, here is X amount of protein, X amount of carbs, and X amount of fat that you need to eat every single day. This will equal X amount of calories. Off you go and enjoy your food, but don't go over them and don't go under them. It's in my opinion that if you're gonna have a macronutrient target plan, you have to have some sort of decent nutrition experience behind you. Spending time in a controlled environment, learning about what foods are giving you what calories, what macros, and for what reason. You also have to be willing to spend a couple minutes every time you have a meal or at the start or end of every day to track what it is that you have eaten, you are eating, or you are going to eat. If you're somebody who is usually up and out early in the morning, not home till relatively late at night, pretty busy, going from A to B to C pretty much all the time, this can be the answer for you. And while it sounds like it can be the answer for you because everybody thinks they're busy, it does come with a lot more effort than tracking from a meal plan. And it does come with a lot more effort from constantly having to be aware of where the next meal is coming from and can you track it and how accurate is that going to be. But the other side of that coin is it does give you a lot more flexibility to enjoy different foods more regularly than a meal plan. One of my biggest tips for tracking on a macro plan is forward planning and forward tracking. That looks like if today is Sunday, you're going to go and track tomorrow this evening. If you're going to have breakfast and lunch on the go, okay, well, what is my route? Where am I going? What are the restaurants on the route? What is the menu in the restaurant? Am I going to have coffees? Am I going to have some liquid calories through juices? How much of them am I going to have? Taking the 10 to 15 minutes the previous night for tracking the next day will save you scrambling at the end of the evening and trying to figure out what it is that you've had and realizing that you're probably 500 calories over that day, and now you have to pull it back over the next couple of days. Another option for macro tracking would be to build a base of 8 to 12 meals on MyFitnessPal, just like you do in a meal plan, which means you could have 2, 3, 4 fresh meals for 3-4 days in a row, and they're all literally still only one click of a button away. Yes, that will be a little bit more time consuming in the immediate time frame, but will save you a lot of hassle day to day for weeks, months, years on end. Then it's only going to take you a couple of minutes to whip up a new recipe, save that on MyFitnessPal, and it's there at a click of a button. So progress becomes a lot easier to manage when you feel like you are bored of the food that you are currently eating in your current nutrition plan. The last brick on this little mini wall of nutrition would be a simple calorie plan. And while I am not in disagreement with a calorie plan, you have to think that calories will determine your scale weight, macronutrients will determine how you look from a carbs, fat, and a protein standpoint and what that does for your body composition. But that doesn't mean that a calorie target is bad. A calorie target is predominantly for people who have really struggled to lose weight, who have really struggled to gain weight, or who have really struggled to track macros properly before, or hate the idea of a meal plan for where they're at in their life right now. And the calorie target is really as easy as it seems. If I was to put Stephen in a calorie deficit, I'd say, Stephen, we're going to get the scales moving in the right direction. We're going to start improving your body composition a little bit. Here's 2,250 calories to eat every single day. Not 1 calorie more, not 1 calorie less. Go and crack on and enjoy your food. It is the law in most countries for them to give you the nutritional value of foods that you buy. You'll see it on the back of absolutely nearly all the foods that you buy in the shop. So all you need to do is, when you buy something that you want to eat, you just have to do some simple maths on your phone, on your calculator, in regards to how much of this I'm going to have per 100 grams, weigh it and do the maths off that. It's very, very, very easy. And while it's not a necessity having a calorie target to actually go and build out some pre-made meals on MyFitnessPal, I definitely still recommend it, because you do eventually want to step away from a calorie target and level up to either a macro target plan or a meal plan. And while you are going to make them meals on MyFitnessPal, having the calorie target, it's going to make your environment and your mindset a little bit more supportive to what it is that you're trying to achieve. And say you do have a calorie target at the minute and you want to layer up your level of difficulty to improve your skill knowledge and maybe increase or improve your body composition that little bit more. What it would do is, okay, well, here's 2,000 calories that you're going to have every day. The next layer is we're going to give you 180 grams of protein to go and hit. Just like you've been doing the maths for your calories, go and do the maths for your protein and leave it at that. So now you've got 2,000 calories, you've further increased that deficit, but you've also got 180 grams of protein to hit every single day, which is probably going to be more than you have been hitting, which is going to help improve your knowledge with nutrition, your attentiveness with your nutrition, but your body composition at the same time. If you're looking for some personalized advice, a point in the right direction in regards to the next step in your physique development, nutritional awareness, whatever it is that you are looking for, I can help you. Go and drop my Instagram a follow at coachedby.ste, and we'll catch up with you there.